Okay, excellent. So it's 10 a.m., so we will get started on Council Bill 21-0019, Baltimore City Office of LGBTQ Affairs. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Councilman Burnett, thank you for pointing out my Orioles opening day jacket, which I wear every single year on this special day. I will start off by turning over the floor to Councilman Burnett to introduce his bill. You're muted.
Unmuted. There we go. Can you hear me? I was having issues with sound earlier. Am I coming in clear?
You're
Okay.
good.
I was just on the meeting earlier when nobody could hear what I was saying. Um, Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and colleagues for joining us today and for your support for this. And so just to give a quick overview of this ordinance, it does two, I think, very critical things. One, it establishes in the city code a Baltimore City Office of LGBTQ Affairs with the intention to have and codify a very critical piece, and that is representation in government. The LGBT community in Baltimore City has been marginalized for a tremendous amount of time, and we as city government need to do a better job with providing resources to that community, but also making sure that their voices are represented in the halls of government and have a direct seat at the table in any decision-making processes that are needed to produce better outcomes for the LGBTQ community in Baltimore City. And so it codifies the office, establishes a bit of the structure for how that office should operate. And I would note that the Office of LGBTQ Affairs was established by former Mayor Pugh as just one of the additional mayoral offices. But one of the concerns that I had with that being the structure was that it means that any future administration could simply get rid of said office. I want to note that this current administration is supportive of it, and I've been working in tandem with the Scott administration to bring this to fruition. And so I want to be clear about that. But I think much like other offices in government, it is important to codify it so that regardless of the change, that representation is there, the office is there, and they're able to do their work consistently without concerns about transitions in politics or mayoral administrations. The other piece that this bill does is it codifies the again already existing LGBTQ commission, and again that was already previously established. I do want to be clear about that. These things do already exist, but it is important from again a sustainability perspective that this be something that is codified, much like all of the other existing commissions and boards that are written into the city code, that this one is also etched into that, and so that there's that representation is there. And so those are the key components of this bill. I did want to note that I'm not asking for a vote on this today, and that's because I wanted to make sure we had more representation and voices in the hearing itself, and so we were a little bit hastily, and I'll take the blame for that in trying to schedule this. And I didn't give myself enough of an opportunity to do enough outreach to let folks know and be aware that the committee was hearing this bill, even though it was put in January. And so I have asked the chair to, conduct a hearing, get the agency reports. If there are people that have called to testify, hear them out. But I do want a future work session on this so that we can have the current director of LGBTQ affairs, who's not in town right now, be able to speak, as well as anybody else that serves on the commission, any other voices that want to be a part of this conversation and advocate for this. I wanted to give them that opportunity, and I did not do a good enough job at ensuring that they would be ready for this today. And so I don't want it to move forward without their voices being a part of this conversation. And so I've asked that we simply hear the bill, hear the agency reports, ask any questions to the administration or myself about this, and then reconvene at a later date. That's all I have, Mr. Chair. I'm happy to take questions, or if you want to move into the agencies, either one.
Yeah, we can go into the agencies and then see if anybody has any questions. I see. Let me see who we got here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Mara's here from finance, and so she needs to be elevated. Richard, do you see that? We can start with the law department. Elena, do you want to speak on your report? You're muted.
There you go. I'm on now. The law department approves the bill for formal legal sufficiency, and we described in our bill report the nature of the power of the city council to create an office, and felt that this was the proper way to do so.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I see Mira Green is here from finance. Do you want to report?
Yes, good morning. This is Mira Green from the Department of Finance. We stand by our report and we do not oppose this resolution.
Okay, thank you. That seems, it looks like that's all we have from the agencies.
Mr. Chair. Sorry, Mr. Chair, Nina Themelis from the Mayor's Office of Government Relations. We also have Jeff Hochstetler, I probably mispronounced his name, from the Board of Ethics.
Gotcha. All right, Jeff, would you like to present?
Sure. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. The Ethics Board was asked to comment specifically on the portion of the bill that made the new director and members of the commission, as well as non-clerical employees, required to file financial disclosure statements. And the Ethics Board believes that that is consistent with the law on financial disclosure statements, which includes many other commission and board members and directors of those offices.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. If you guys just don't mind sticking around for a little bit in case the committee has any questions as we go through. And Nina, do you have anything to say on behalf of the mayor?
I'm having a little, okay, I'm on video now, sorry. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, the Mayor's Office supports the intent of this legislation and we look forward to having a more robust conversation.
Okay, thank you. I think I got everybody. Just looking through one more time. Okay, that's it. Does any members of the committee have any questions for any of the agencies or Councilwoman Ramos?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the Department of Finance, your report talks about the fiscal impact of $38,603. Is that, I don't know what the current director makes. Is that something that we're adjusting because of the nature of the position? What's the thought here?
Yes, good morning. That assumes additional office supplies or support staff that could be needed to support the office. We assume that the current director position would remain funded at the current level, but assume there might be some administrative costs involved. So that's what that amount reflects.
Okay, it says a salary reclassification. It doesn't talk about other personnel costs. It doesn't talk about any other office costs. So I was just curious about that.
Yes. So right, we assume the position may be elevated, reclassified, and also that there may be some incidental costs, but that overall the current mayor's office staff could probably support for routine office supplies and such. So.
And do you know if it's already in the budget?
There is not funding dedicated to this office, as the office does not currently exist as a line item in the budget. Of course, Jabari's salary is currently supported, but there isn't a dedicated line item.
Okay. I think that's it. Thanks a lot, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And Samir, can you just clarify that, because I think you threw me off also. So there's no fiscal note on this. It's just it's going to be absorbed by the mayor's office current budget. Is that correct?
From the point of the Department of Finance, I would defer to the mayor's office on that question.
Okay. Nina, would you like to answer that question?
Yeah, my understanding of Councilman Burnett's legislation is that the majority, if not all, the costs associated with establishing the office would be cost neutral. As far as the Department of Finance's report, I think that was just kind of trying to provide for any additional movement if that is needed, but I can get back with more specifics after maybe conferring with Councilman Burnett following the hearing today to discuss any specifics concerning additional costs.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other members of the council have any questions? Just raise your hand if you do. Nope. Okay. Richard, we can go into testimony if you look at the attendee list.
First up is Daria Brown. Daria Brown. Yeah.
The office of the president.
Okay. Next is Kimmy Sauer. Kimmy Sauer.
No, I don't have anything to say. Thank you.
Finally, we have Yaslin Machuca. Yaslin Machuca.
No testimony.
All right.
That's everybody, Mr. Chair.
All right, that concludes that. So at the request of the bill sponsor, we'll stand in recess and schedule a work session for an upcoming.
Thank you, colleagues.
Remember that?
No, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate that flexibility on this show.
Not a problem. All right, thanks a lot. We will now stand in recess. Go O's.